Sister who I funded through med school told me I don't belong at her graduation after paying $9,000. The morning sunlight spilled through the half-closed blinds of the modest apartment as Marcus tightened a knot on his worn tie, the same one he'd worn to every family milestone for the last 15 years. He stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his collar, trying to quiet the gnawing feeling in his chest. Today should have been a proud day. His sister, Tiana, was graduating from medical school. After years of late-night shifts, skipped meals, and every dollar he could spare, she'd made it. They had made it. But his phone buzzed earlier with a message that felt like a punch in the gut. "Hey Marcus, I think it's best if you don't come today. It's just not the right image for the ceremony. I hope you understand." He didn't. Marcus had raised Tiana since she was 12, after their parents died in a car accident. At 19, with dreams of his own shelved indefinitely, he became her legal guardian, working 2 jobs, landscaping during the day and dishwashing at night, just to keep the lights on and food in the fridge. When Tiana said she wanted to be a doctor, he promised to do whatever it took to help her. He cashed out his small savings, took out personal loans, and even skipped necessary dental work to wire her tuition shortfall of $9,000. It was never a question. She was his family. His purpose. He stared at his reflection now, older than he should be at 36, lines etched deeper than time could account for. Still, his eyes held on to something, an ember of pride, even if the invitation had been revoked. Maybe she was embarrassed. Maybe her new world, polished and white-coated, didn't have room for a brother with grease under his fingernails and shoes that had seen too many winters. With a sigh, he loosened the tie, folded it neatly, and placed it on the dresser. He wouldn't go. But he also wouldn't sit in silence. Instead, he found the graduation live stream, pulled up a chair, and watched from his small kitchen table, sipping cold coffee. The ceremony was grand, held in an auditorium lined with flags, flowers, and proud families. Tiana walked across the stage glowing, draped in her gown and stole, shaking hands, posing for pictures. No mention of the brother who skipped meals for her books. No nod to the man who was both sibling and surrogate father. Marcus smiled anyway. Because it wasn't about recognition. It was about her becoming the person she'd always dreamed to be. Still, the ache lingered. 2 weeks later, a letter arrived. It was from Tiana. "I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even forgive myself yet. That message I sent. I've replayed it every night. I was afraid the people in my new world would judge me for where I came from. I thought if I could hide the struggle, maybe I could finally feel like I belonged. But all I did was forget the person who gave up everything so I could stand on that stage. You don't belong at my graduation. No. I don't deserve to stand there without you. I remember one night, I was 15 and crying over a failed test. You came home exhausted from work and still stayed up to quiz me on anatomy flashcards, even though you couldn't pronounce half the words. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I used your sacrifice as a stepping stone, but I stepped too far. I let pride cloud my gratitude. I want to make it right. Not with words, but with my actions." Marcus wiped his eyes, the paper trembling in his hands. A month passed. Then 2. He didn't hear from her, and life rolled on, long days, quiet nights. Then came a knock. When he opened the door, there she was, white coat, stethoscope, and a nervous smile. "I got a job back home," she said quietly. "At the community clinic. They needed a doctor who understood struggle. I told them I knew someone better." He looked behind her, confused. She stepped aside, revealing a line of people, neighbors, old friends, even strangers. Each held a small sign. "Thank you, Marcus." One woman stepped forward, a patient from the clinic. "Your sister saved my son's life last week. She said she learned compassion from you. Another man, holding a bouquet, added, "She paid for my daughter's medicine out of her own pocket. Said it was a gift from her brother." Tiana handed Marcus a binder, its cover inscribed with gold letters, "Dr. Tiana Brooks, a journey made possible by Marcus." Inside were photos, snapshots of her schooling, clinic work, volunteer missions, and every caption acknowledged him. "I started a scholarship," she said, eyes brimming. "For kids from families like ours. I named it after you. The Marcus Fund. First award goes out this fall." Marcus couldn't speak. He just pulled her into a hug, holding her like he had when they were children. When the world had taken everything but left them with each other. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "You're here," he said softly. "That's what matters." That night, over dinner, laughter returned to the apartment. Tiana stayed late, cleaning dishes like she used to. They talked about the past, the good, the bad, and the in-between, and how love had always been the thread pulling them forward. By the time she left, she had his tie in hand. "I want you at the clinic's ribbon cutting," she said. "Wear this." He did. And as the crowd clapped, cameras flashing, Tiana stepped up to the microphone, pulled her brother beside her, and said, "This man is the reason I'm here. Not just on this stage, but standing tall, heart full, ready to serve. He once told me that real love shows up quietly. Well, I want to shout it today. Thank you, Marcus. You gave me the world." The audience stood in applause. And for the first time in a long time, Marcus felt seen. Not just as a helper in the wings, but as a hero in someone's story. Because sometimes, the ones who shine brightest are lit by the quiet sacrifice of others. And sometimes, the ones left behind are simply waiting for the world to remember that love, when given selflessly, never fades. It multiplies. And in that truth lies the most powerful healing of all.